teams from a handful of local teens are helping getting people back on their feet. Naperville News Extra's Jodelle Maglaya sat down with a group of students who spent their time on a very special mission trip this summer.
It's not every day that we hear teens giving up their summer to travel to poverty-stricken areas. But teens from 2 local churches packed their bags to go on a mission trip.
We go once a year on a week-long trip. In the past, we've gone kind of like disaster chasers. We've gone to Joplin and Moore after some of their tornadoes. I think it's just great because part of our mission here is to go out and serve others and help them and be Christ to other people. You know, that's the mission of the church here.
St. Elizabeth Seton's Youth and Young Adult Ministry took their first trip of the year to Louisa, Kentucky to help those living in poverty.
We went down there to help out with just repairing some homes, everything from siding to drywall, painting, replaced some flooring, built some decks, some ramps, poured some concrete, just to help some of the people down there in kind of the poverty-stricken areas.
Seeing the poor living conditions was an overwhelming feeling for the teens.
You know, I've seen like minor things, like, you know, but like people on the streets and stuff, but I've never seen houses just falling apart. Like, so that was the first night I saw it. I was taken aback. I was like, wow, this is real.
I came in, I didn't know what to expect, and then I got here, and for the first time in my life, I really got to see poverty. Like, I knew that there were people who experienced poverty, but it was a good experience because the first time I really actually got to have a feel for what it felt like.
Though the mission of St. Elizabeth Seton was to lend a helping hand to those in need, it was also a chance for everyone to step back and reevaluate what's most important in life.
It's putting others first, and that's our kind of our main goal. You know, they learn skills that can help them, but in learning those skills, they realize that they're helping others. You know, they're doing, you know, God's work in serving others. That's kind of the main purpose of any church. You know, be Christ to others and help in any way, shape, or form.
Putting others first was also on Good Shepherd Lutheran Church's agenda as well. They went on a mission a bit further, crossing the border to get to international territory.
We went to 3 different places in Guatemala: Pueblo Modelo, Tapata, and the dump. And the dump was definitely the worst environment because it's literally a garbage dump that people live in, and they sift through the garbage trying to find things to sell.
High school ministry leader from Good Shepherd Church, Laura Jean Martin, says trips like these serve as a time for teens to break their everyday habits and develop a new outlook on life.
For a student to experience a mission, it helps them refocus, gets them out of their comfort zone so they can understand that their skills and their passions can really change a life.
And though there was a language barrier for some, others were reminded that the simplest things were all that mattered to the children.
Those little kids taught me that actions speak louder than words, because many of the people who went on our trip, they don't speak a lick of Spanish whatsoever, and all those kids needed was a big hug from them and a nice huge smile.
And seeing the response from those kids made it that much easier for the student ministry to lend a helping hand to one of the biggest issues Guatemala faces today.
We found the biggest problem in Guatemala is water contamination. And so we want to be able to help from the bottom up, not just with temporary needs, but from the foundation, which is the water. And so water filters, water collection systems, those were our main project this week.
And though these local students are glad they got to provide basic necessities to those less fortunate, they say the best part of this experience was getting the chance to learn a life lesson at such a young age.
Those little kids taught me just that you don't need anything special to be a good person.
And both mission leaders are hoping to continue seeing lives transformed, whether it's the teens from their church.
You know, it's just great to see the kids come together, work hard, and just serve the others like we get them to do, like we want them to do.
Or their family in Christ from different parts of the world.
It is important for me to share this love with Guatemalan families and to know their stories and to be able to come back home and share these stories with my friends so that we can continue to support, whether through prayer, financially, through projects, through missions, these families in Guatemala, which are our brothers and sisters in Christ.
I'm Jodelle Maglaya for Naperville News Extra.